Hey guys, Happy here, and today we are in a different setting. We are at Middle Peninsula Regional Airport, which is Kilo Foxtrot Yankee Juliet, and this is a really nice freeware airport. Um, it isn't that special, but the things that make this an interesting airport that's fun to fly out of is it's a very living airport. We have some people over to our right, might see in a bit. There's people jumping out with parachutes. There's cars driving around. There's an airship flying around. It's really a live airport. It's really nice to see. This is a freeway airport, and we're gonna be flying to another airport that the same guy has created, which is gonna be in Richmond, Richmond Airport, Kilo Romeo India Charlie. So this should be a pretty fun flight to do for sure. There isn't any special occasion really. Just thought we'd do an early morning flight and see the sun over here just rising. So yeah, got a bit of wind today. We'll find the windsock in a second. Should be literally just behind us, I believe. Can't really see it. Yeah, there we have a car driving past. But I think we'll be able to take off if we go down to the left here and get onto the runway. We should be able to take off to the east, as the winds are right now. We'll probably have to do a 180 when we then do the east departure. So we'll get going here in the Bell 412, of course. There are videos coming on the S92. We'll be doing some offshore videos, offshore landings. But I thought I'd just show these off, and I thought the Bell 412 would be a great helicopter to show that in. Trying to find the windsock. Windsock is right behind us, yeah, and the winds look like they're coming from the east. So we'll have to take off into the wind, which is. We'll get going here, just making sure that car isn't going to be an issue. Off after it. A bit of an issue in the mesh here, which apparently makes the car float. Interesting. This seems to be an X-Plane 11 thing, but I'm sure you could probably go in and turn the settings on in the config to make the airport flat. That should fix it. See the airship off to 12 o'clock here, so we'll have to watch out for that when we do our turnout. A lot of smoke coming from those chimneys over there. A bit unrealistic, but it's a nice feature to have some smoke coming from nearby factories for sure. Also, of course, covered by photoreal scenery, which is always good. Especially good when people take the time to put trees and and buildings where the trees and buildings are on the ortho photos. Alright, so I'm just gonna get eyes on that airship up there. Make sure it isn't coming down to land. I think I'll turn that plug-in off. There it is, good airship. Okay, so that'll be going behind us. We'll do a right turn out when we get down here. I think I'll turn that off. It can be a bit annoying, and it's not. I find it slightly deceiving in X-Plane 11, especially if you have sloped areas. But it's not super important for helicopters, so I'll turn that off. Alright, let's get going here. There's also some air traffic on some of his sceneries that seem to be flying around, so you kind of have to watch out for other air traffic, which is a cool dynamic addition to the game for sure. Of course, got 3D volumetric grass, always awesome to see. It doesn't seem to have a big impact on my frames. I think before I turned off the frame rate counter, I was getting about 30 frames per second, so even though we have a lot of flashing lights and 3D volumetric grass and good ortho photos, it isn't impacting my frames greatly, so that's always good to see. I also turned up the volume for the helicopter, so you should be able to hear that better. I never really noticed, but of course my videos previously would be kind of silent coming from the game section, so hopefully you should be able to hear the helicopters better let me know how you find it. Quite good weather today. Cloud base is quite high, I think 3,500 feet. And we have about 10 knots coming out of the east. Wait, also got some boats out here. Pretty cool. And it'll be pretty much on course now. We'll be able to see those factories on our right here. I think we'll get the autopilot following the GPS, so we'll hit the nav button, and then we'll hit the SAS ATT, doing a couple of turns here. Awesome. Also just gonna get the indicated airspeed set up to 130, and altitude we'll set up to 1,000. Do this flight at 1,000 altitude. That's pretty cool. Nice bit of scenery addition. It's nice to see some detail outside of the airport. Unrealistically fast smoke, but nevertheless quite cool to see. Looks like something being built down there or something like that. Very cool. This is an interesting bridge up here. I don't know if that's an actual thing or if that's just kind of a X-Plane 11 train deformation. Alright, but of course we're heading to Richmond. Airport created by the same guy. It's a pretty cool airport too. Has a lot of detail. Also has some air traffic around. I think it has a couple of Enstrom helicopters flying. Also got an airship. But this airport we're flying to, we'll also have to watch out for the parachuters, because there's a couple of people doing some base jumping. But it has some pretty alive things regarding some ground traffic. It has, I believe, some different work machinery doing some construction work on the airport. So you really feel like the airport is alive, and it's a really cool addition to these sceneries. Really well made for sure. Alright, get the GPS display up. You see about 8 minutes out, so I'll skip ahead a bit here, and when we get a bit closer I'll get right back. Alright, so we're just coming up here about 5 miles from the airport, and we can start to see some stuff out here. You can see the Goodyear blimp, and you see some approach lights, so I think I will wait a bit, and when we get a bit closer we'll make a decision on which direction to land in. I'd preferably want to land to the east, but we can of course also just land on a taxiway if we feel like it. So all of the scenery around here is just standard X-Plane scenery. Nothing has been added, and for just flying over between destinations, standard X-Plane scenery is really quite good. It's not bad whatsoever. These airports are really good quality, and of course something that makes these so good is the ortho photos. Really worth it. But of course it takes a lot of effort to do that, so I don't expect too many people to do it. And of course it takes a lot longer time, so if every airport had to include ortho photos, it would be a struggle, and we wouldn't have as many airports created as we do. So it's really quite good to have these different kinds of developers. Alright, so I'm just keeping a good eye on this blip here, because we're going to be passing right over it. Quite cool. I think we'll switch it out of nav mode and switch into heading mode. Oh, could probably set the heading before I switched into heading mode. But we'll do a right turn here. And I think we'll just land it in on a taxiway down here by the ramp somewhere. We'll be parking around here, around the back of the tower, as a heliport thing. Actually, I think we'll make a straight in, or make a base turn here in a second. I think we'll make it for runway 22 by the looks of things. Alright, so slowly start to get rid of these different things. So altitude, indicated airspeed, start heading mode as well, out of SAS TT. And then we'll make our left turn here. So of course, I have to watch out for those paratroopers as well, or guys practicing parachuting. Pick up the collective here. Collective. Lowering. Really kind of shady approach, I'll have to say for sure. But that's alright. Drop altitude quite fast. See if we can spot the guys parachuting. Be high up in the clouds right now. I'll leave a link to these sceneries down in the description. They're definitely worth checking out, and especially the Richmond one is especially detailed thing. You can see a parachuting there. There's a parachuter. Alright. Get it down here, really descending quite fast, trying to make this exit down here. Has a really shady approach. I wasn't paying too much attention, I was basically looking at the scenery. We'll make this taxiway turn off. We'll take Alpha. Quite useful to have these ground markings, that's for sure. So the heli parking is of course around the back of the tower there. We'll take the taxi route. And should spot some of the cool features on the way, like the machinery doing some work. It looks like the parachuters are just about to land off to our right. There. So we'll be taking this taxiway here, which is Romeo. Really see a lot of effort. The edges on the taxiways are also really nicely made. You don't have those sharp edges that you see in standard X-Plane scenery. Probably one of my biggest pet peeves in X-Plane is the really sharp edges on the taxiway edges, and it just doesn't look very good. So so having these kind of blending edges that blend into the scenery is really nice. This airport also has, of course, a lot of custom objects. You can really see that. Got more 3D volumetric grass here. The tower's custom 3D is parking, spots, and all these kind of things. You also have see here a police or medic AS. Oh no, that's not it. That's an EC135, and we have a couple of Robinson R22s. I think we'll park the helicopter up over here. We'll swing the tail around to the right. Staying clear of that Robinson. We'll helicopter down here. Also a lot of custom ground textures. Also always awesome to see custom ground textures. Really adds quite a lot to a scenery. Adds some extra detail and some personality to the scenery. Makes it more realistic or true to the real airport, that's for sure. Alright, well that's been a short tour. I think we'll quickly jump into the free cam and have a look at the airport from above. You see the blimp, and You see the parachuters up here. Get a good look at them. He is descending down, and they land around here next to these old taxiways. A big custom terminal that is realistic to the real airport, so that's really awesome to see. And you see he's really put a lot of effort into this. 3D cars would be nice, but other than that, it's pretty perfect. You can see a lot of custom trees as well. A lot of these things are custom. It's really nice to see, and these are the sceneries that you really that you kind of just want to fly in and out of, even though you don't have any relation to the actual airport. Never even knew Richmond was a city before I saw this airport. So really awesome to see these high definition airports. I'll leave a link to it down in the description. Freeware. That's kind of why this is something special. It's free. Don't have to pay any money for it, and it's good quality for the freeware stuff for sure. Down here's some of the custom stuff that he's added. See, there's a truck that's dumping dirt, which is quite cool. Here we've got the couple of that's like a smoothing vehicle. Diggers that are moving around and doing some working down here at the some dirt area. So really nice detail, good attention to detail, that's for sure. Alright, well let's end the video on a top-down view of 3 helicopters with their rotor spinning, and until the next video guys, take care.